Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today my favorite dynamic duo is back at it, fighting on the ranked ladder as MbL, playing as the Dravidians in red, gets ready to duke it out with Heart, playing as the Sicilians in blue. Now all the players heard their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we will be watching today. Now, the Dravidians are a civilization that likes to focus on its infantry. To start with, all of their barracks technologies are half price, and all of their infantry units can be upgraded to ignore enemy armor, essentially turning each and every Dravidian infantry unit into a Lithuanian Latus. This is great news for their unique unit, the Urumi Swordsman, a medium infantry unit that gets a massive charge attack every 24 or 20 seconds. And by the way, this charge attack, it does trample damage. That has supported its infantry on the field of battle. All Dravidian siege units are a little bit cheaper in terms of wood cost. Their cavalry also benefit from Woot's Steel, which is the upgrade I just mentioned, whereby their infantry ignores armor. Same applies to their cavalry, but before you get a little bit too excited about that, Dravidian cavalry, well, they're notoriously terrible. Now, Dravidian skirmishers, their elephant archers do attack faster, and all of their elephant units can actually be upgraded to regenerate HP. Nothing scarier than an elephant that kills you, runs away, and then comes back at full health to kill you again. And to support their military, their fishermen do carry extra seafood, although on this map, we'll see once we remove the fog of war and go into God's Eye mode, we'll see if that even plays a role. And every time you go up in age, you do get 200 wood for free as the Dravidians, which essentially helps them in the early stages of the game where villager allocation management is super duper important, or maybe in the later stages of the game, a little bit of an extra wood boost to help you train some of that discounted siege. Now then, once you have that siege, you can point it right towards your enemy. In this case, we've got Heart playing as the Sicilians in blue, a civilization whose strength flows from their static defensive structures. Take a look at the top right of your screen where my mouse is. You'll notice that they start the game with 100 extra stone, which is fantastic because they build town centers twice as fast as normal, fortifications 50% faster than normal, and starting in the Feudal Age can build their unique military structure, the donjon. Think of this as a mini castle that gains both HP and armor as the game progresses, similar to the unit that it can train. And speaking of the unit that it can train, the donjon can be used to train not just the castle, but also the donjon, like the Bulgarian Krepost, can be used to train their unique unit, in this case the Sergeant, a medium infantry unit with great base armor, whose HP and attack and all of its stats actually increase in the Castle Age. Now, by the way, you can use those very same sergeants to build and repair those donjons where they were first birthed. Now, unlike their sister structure, the Bulgarian Krepost, the donjon can also be used to train spearman line units and can count as a prerequisite for stables and archery ranges, although if you're going infantry, you might not want to skimp out on putting down a barracks. Now, if you find yourself in dire need of lots and lots of military units very, very, very quickly, one of the coolest features of the Sicilians is their ability to call a First Crusade, where each and every town center, up to a maximum of 5, spawns 5 sergeants. So, maximum of 25 sergeants instantaneously. They just pop out onto the map. Now, the sergeant, as I mentioned, very well armored, which means it moves a little bit slower. The more armor, the slower the unit, basically. So to help protect it on these hot, blazing Arabian sands, well, pardon me, I got lost in the ostrich again. I don't know why sometimes my eye goes to it. In any event, to help protect the sergeant, their cavaliers, their knights can be upgraded to get extra armor. All Sicilian infantry, cavalry, and archer units take less bonus damage, and all of their units can be upgraded to become more resistant to conversion. That'll help feed their hungry hippos, their villagers, their military units. They do not rely on seafood like the Dravidians. No, the Sicilians rely on their very, very bountiful farms. A fully upgraded Sicilian farm in this game, if we're lucky enough to see in the Imperial Age, and crop rotation and all of that good stuff, comes with more than 1,000 food, which means you have to seed it less frequently, which means you need fewer lumberjacks, which means you can, in theory, have more military, which means maybe you'll get the G, maybe you'll get the W, maybe you'll hit the GG. Who knows what the hell will happen in this game as the scouts run into one another. Looks like MbL was chasing a little bit. Let's see how much of the map they've seen. We have each other's views, but let's see. MbL has seen the house, has seen the gold, and so he knows exactly where his opponent is. Heart has not yet discovered, so he's gone in the right direction, and then oddly enough turned around Maybe he's waiting for Feudal Age when the stats on the scout do get better. More attack, more line of sight. They move faster. And there we go. Has now discovered where his opponent's base is. But MbL already with Loom putting down a barracks. So nothing too risky over here on this side of the world. 215 wood, up from 15 for our Dravidian the second he hits the next age. And when I mentioned early on, it's such an amazing feature to get 200 wood, because then you can either start getting your economic upgrades like double bid axe and horse collar immediately, which normally you would get, but now you get a little bit of a, a little subsidy from the government to assist with the cost. Or, more farms, any farms, houses, whatever the hell you want. 200 wood in the early stages of the game is a lot of wood. And then the later stages of the game can pay for 1 or 2 siege units. So let's take a look at the bases. The attack path between them, pretty simple. Literally A to B. One's in the 3 o'clock position, one's in the 9 o'clock position. And it is an empty straight line with the usual relic in the center. Donjon in the forward position already. We've seen this kind of build before. And let's take a look. He's protecting his gold with it. Stone is nice and secure to the back, as is extra gold. Not bad placements for resources, although extra gold and wood. Pardon me. Oh my goodness. Extra gold and stone in the forward position here for our Sicilian, who has been using his donjon to train a few spearman line units, and now is training a sergeant. Did I see that right? No, I guess he canceled it. I thought I saw a sergeant getting queued up here. But anyway, it looks like, will this be an offensive army? Will this be a defensive army? Does he expect to be pressed into here on the other side of the map? Gold off to the bottom, extra gold and stone to the rear. Not bad at all. Primary stone a little bit in the forward position, but nearby, and gold in the forward position as well. So both players have stone and gold in the front. Stone and gold in the front, and the rest of the resources fairly secure. Our Dravidian already walling off the south, the east, and the north. Looks like it might be walled off, but for now, a spearman protecting whatever is not part of the wall off. MbL sees the move out. It was a sergeant that was being trained. FYI, sergeant, one of the only 2 unique units in the game that can be trained in the Feudal Age. The other being the Gurjara Camel Scout. Stats on it, not the greatest right now. Basically the same as a scout, attacking with a 5. But look at that armor. 2/2 armor. And that will jump up to 3/3 once Castle Age is reached. It just matures the unit, just gets a little bit stronger. And this army, by the way, is not too big, but it is darn scary. I'm not too sure what our Dravidian has here that it can engage into this. There's a good amount of spearmen to zone out the cavalry. There's a good amount of skirmishers to zone out the spearmen and other spearmen and skirmishers and archers. And let's see what kind of damage you can get done. MbL responding, but a little bit too slow with the wall off to the right side. Mobile army on the left. 1 unit here. This one spearman. Yeah, he was very weak, and now we will be very weak in the underworld. As it is Heart, our Sicilian, who draws first blood. And now he has the high ground. MbL probably thought, hey, I'm going to wall this area in. I'm going to take the hill and give myself the high ground. Little did he know that his opponent's going to just walk his way, very casually saunter into the base and take that high ground for himself. Another spearman dies. Now, picking off spearmen is good, but your army is primarily infantry and skirmishers. So spearmen are not going to be the biggest threat here to your army, since you only have 1 scout. And he's got to be careful, because now he's kind of walking around his heart, taking pot shots from these skirmishers who come with a pretty decent +3 attack bonus against spearmen. Now, +3 doesn't sound like much, but this unit right now is 45 HP. So let's say 6 spearmen, they do 18 damage. That's a third of your HP with every volley if they can land their javelins, their projectiles. More and more blue dots are streaming across the map. Sicilian is putting on pressure. Villager count is identical for both players. And let's see what he can get done here. For now, abandoning the inner sanctum of the Dravidian base and moving southwards. Okay. I mean, he could have moved this way. This is a sizable army out of our Sicilian. He's cooking something up back home. He does not want his opponent to see. He is keeping the pressure all on this side. Might want to add a spearman, another 1 or 2 spearmen here. Sergeants, fantastic unit. But the spearmen will be the ones that zone out these cavalry units. And remember, in a skirmisher v skirmisher, even though they do damage, bonus damage to each other. As the Sicilians, this skirmisher takes a third less bonus damage. So those spearmen, I should have done the mathematics properly. It's not 6 times 3, it's 6 times 2, because a third of that 3 bonus against this spearman right here gets nullified by that civ bonus, civ feature. And there we go. This is why he brought the sergeants. 6 villagers on stone. He is going to donjon push the inside, but speaking of the inside, this is wide open right now. We'll see what these scouts can get accomplished. 2 more skirmishers die. And even their attack bonus against other skirmishers of a +3 archer gets nullified into 2. And so 1v1 here, our Sicilian does have the advantage now, especially backed up by a donjon. Definitely has the advantage. Ooh, looks like that spearman did catch up. Villager very quick. Heart with the micro. Now he's going to circle around. Every time I pivot left, there's kills on the right. Every time I pivot right, there's kills on the left. Just like in yesterday's game when I said Hera won't have any bombard towers, and spoiler alert, Hera had bombard towers. You know what I should do? I should open up a stock market investing channel and then just tell everyone to do the exact opposite of what I say. Oh, you know, I like Microsoft, and then Microsoft will tank. I'll be like the Jim Cramer of the stock world. Everything he says, the opposite happens. And so far I'm like that of the Age of Empires world. Oh, there's not going to be any bombard towers. Then 5 seconds later, bombard towers appear. By the way, MbL scouts are dead. So whatever shenanigans he had planned on the other side of the map are now donezo. He's holding the line back home. As scary as this push is, he will be in Castle Age very, very soon, our Dravidian. Archery range is up, rather re-upped since the original one fell. Donjons are 175 stone. So just needs 2 more little rocks. Does our blue Sicilian in order to plop down yet another one. So far, again, even though this push seems kind of scary, lumberjacks just pivoted left. Gold miners have been left untouched. A few farms are lamed. And a stable and a blacksmith are potentially under attack. But so far, not exactly the end of the world here for MbL. At the same time, Heartt is walling his own base off. As he clicks into the Castle Age, 1:45 seconds. Elephants are out for our Dravidian. Let's frickin' go. For now, the 1 elephant is not enough. You're training 3 more. Tell me he's got more than 1 stable. No, he's got 1 stable and he's training all of them out of that 1 stable. To be fair, though, the HP on this unit is enough that it can take a few arrow shots, a few pokes and prods from units, and now the sergeants will finish the donjon. They're repairing it, but not enough room in the inn, or he just didn't shove him in enough. There was room for that 1 sergeant. Elephants fighting underneath donjons. That was not on my bingo card, as a castle is going up for our Dravidian as well. MbL says, not only am I going to try to shoo you away with my mobile army, but I'm going to make sure you can't build anymore, can't push in anymore with a castle of my own. And I'm going to hold down the sergeant. Look at the stats jump up in 10 seconds. Oh, no, just don't die in the next 10 seconds. Here we go. 5 attack becomes an 8. 2 armor becomes a 3. 50 HP becomes 75. I mean, this is a 50% increase across the board just because he was alive. No upgrades needed, no nothing needed. Hey, you're still around? You're gonna get the boost. 2nd town center in the forward, 3rd town center in the back. For now, our Sicilian does not have the wood for another TC. That's plenty of stone, though. Continuing to kind of run amok here. But the castle is a castle. 2 roomy swordsmen, 3 elephants hiding out here. Might as well put the skirmishers inside as well. What the hell are they going to accomplish running around here? Not a whole lot. This might be a weak point, though. Heartt is being very, very stubborn. He refuses to leave. I see another contingent of reinforcements coming across the map. And he says, okay, fine, LOL, you got me. To the north, I'm just going to pivot to the south, try to bust through this TC. In all fairness to Heartt, he might want to just let this TC go up and then just go underneath it. He'll lose 2 units, but, I mean, Yeah, now move, now move. Just go left. Okay. Like I said, you'll lose 2 units, but it'll probably be the Feudal Age units like the basic skirmisher and a spearman. But then your army will have mission accomplished, busted its way in here. And our Dravidian is safe. A scary push from our Sicilian. Sergeants moving forward again. More and more donjons, 2 villagers, 2 sergeants, a couple of buddy system units moving forward. A 4th town center for our Dravidian. You think he was the one who was going to call a first crusade? But it's possible. I don't want to jinx it. Now that I'm going to say it, it's probably not going to happen. But usually when an elephant civilization begins expanding massively and rapidly with their town center, it means they're getting ready for a huge economic influx that is used to pay for these very expensive, chunky, wrinkly, butthead units. And so I'm expecting to see elephants, basically, is what I'm saying. For now, our Dravidian giving no indication of what kind of military he wants to build. His skirmishers are not elite. His monks don't move faster. They're fervorless and sanctityless. And our Sicilian has busted in through the south at the same time, trying to bust in through the north, but another castle being placed there. Actually, do the Dravidians even get fervor? Gets a conversion on one of these sergeants. Let me see. Yeah, I knew something was wrong when I said that. I knew something was a little bit off. Urumi swordsmen have had enough of your shit and now are moving forward. One gets converted, the other gets an arrow to the back of the head. Okay, so perhaps not the greatest of counterattacks here out of MbL. Not too sure why he just sent 2 of those units. Castle versus Donjon, we know who wins that battle. Town Center versus Mangonel, we know who wins that battle. And where is MbL's army? He's not training a single military unit. I'd say he's going up to Imperial, but he's got no resources for it. He's training villagers and Urumis. Behind this, though, 3rd Town Center has gone up for our Sicilians. 2nd up here. The attack to the north has stalled. Now moving to attack to the north. The Great North. But the sight of one Urumi with that crazy, ridiculous, bendable sword of theirs was enough to shoo away all of those sergeants. A converted sergeant meets his former friends, gets actually decimated, killed, and that's all she wrote. So is the name of the game for MbL just, I'm going to convert your sergeants because they move so slowly? I love the movement out of Heart, by the way. His army has just been very fluid. His army control has been amazing. And it's just non-stop movement. Non-stop. Now, is that good? Is it bad? Is it going to net him a W? Who the hell knows? Right now, we're 30 minutes into the game. Elephants to the north. Skirmishers moving forward. Has anyone upgraded their skirmishers to elite? Absolutely not. So we're in the Castle Age fighting with Feudal Age units for the most part. And that's what happens when you fight Feudal Age with Feudal Age units. In the Castle Age, out pops a Mangonel, and down goes your Feudal Age unit. A couple of more sergeants get converted. Monks do run away. One of them dies on the retreat. One of them dies, it looks like, to the sergeants. And now I feel like this Dravidian army might be in a bit of trouble. He is going after the more expensive Mangonel units, which is fantastic. What's the faith on these guys? Very, very slowly regenerating. Back home on the left side of the map, it does look like the attack is continuing. We'll keep an eye on those sergeants to the north chasing those monks. You gotta love that thudding sound that the elephant makes when it attacks. But one last elephant, and he's going for the skirmishers who diffuse like a fart in a room. This is what they have to do. But oh my goodness, oh my god, he is, why is he not catching up? 0.9096, my bad. And here come the Urumis. Behind all of this, whips are ready. Charge attack getting ready. Oh, but he gets, one gets converted. FYI, the charge attack on the Urumi is plus 12. That is a pretty bonkers charge attack for an infantry unit. Even the Custelier with a 20-25 is a cavalry unit that you kind of expect to have a heavy hand. But plus 12, and then if they're elite, plus 15 is a pretty darn crazy charge attack for an infantry unit, I dare say. And remember, that charge attack does trample damage. Okay, you want to be careful here. Don't really want to chase into a donjon. Let's see what's going on the other side of the map once this battle completes. If it ever does, this elephant has been around for about 1,000,000 years. And there you go. Like I said, invest in Microsoft and Microsoft tanks immediately. This elephant's been around for 1,000,000 years, and down it immediately goes. Looks like a monk, a villager have bitten the dust, but the Urumis are chasing. I suspect these are virgin Urumi, so their charge attacks are pretty much at the ready, which means the sergeant has no chance in hell. These donjons are still up. I feel like one has fallen in the forward position. Yeah, most of them have fallen as well. This one is still being annoying. Town center for our Dravidian has fallen. He's got a mangonel in here. So he's down to 3 town centers. Our Sicilian adding a 4th. Usually when you see 4 or 5, that's when you got to kind of keep your eye on the top right of the screen to see whether or not you're going to see the first crusade. But enough's enough. Elephant comes out. Armored siege, whatever it is, we'll start knocking away at those donjons. But donjon attempted, decent high ground location. Donjon denied. Urumi's on the low ground. Gotta love infantry. This is exactly why I love watching MbL and Heartt play. I mean, generally you don't see a lot of infantry in Age of Empires. Cavalry is faster, archers are sexier. But when you have 2 potential infantry civilizations, you kind of want to watch these 2 play because you know you're going to get to see them. If we were watching the Vikings, we would see the Berserker and so forth and so forth. And this is what I want to see. Let's see sergeants taking on Urumis, but I feel like the sergeants are going to need a little bit more boosting to their stats, right? They've only got forging. Okay, he's getting iron casting now. There we go, another scuffle here in the center of the map. 55 HP to 75 HP, but that charge attack makes all the difference. And the players back away. The map goes quiet. A monk, a spearman, both not terrible lines of sight. Or I guess looking for relics. Our Sicilian only has 2. Has sussed out the construction of a castle to the north. Still has a siege workshop here. I love that Heartt is adding in outposts to the south. So he's got mobile vision to the north with the monk and the spearman. He's got static vision to the south with the outposts. But MbL, he's charging right through the center. And there's that first crusade that was called all of a sudden. 25 more sergeants appear on the map. Every single town center. Spawned 5 of them. And forward they move. But okay, you're gonna have to move forward. Urumi kills a sergeant before he gets taken out. So far it seems like the Urumis are taking the better engagements here, which is a little scary for our Sicilian because MbL's in Castle Age, which means he doesn't have Woot Steel. If he gets his butt up to Imperial in 40 seconds and then researches Woot Steel, all these engagements that are very much going in favor of the Urumi are going to go even more in favor of the Urumi because now he's going to ignore armor. So let's see how this all shapes up. I'm very interested. By the way, neither of these players adding in some scorpions against their opponent's only infantry army. The sergeants are now elite. Look at that frickin' armor, 7-8. But the Urumis are going to be elite in a second. That charge attack of 12 is going to jump up to 15. Very forward university here. Sergeants need to clump up. Stop sending groups of 10 over here. Stop sending groups of 15 over here. Attack speed should be the same on both, right? 2 seconds versus 2 seconds. Yeah. And look at this. The Urumis, I don't know if it's by virtue of just outnumbering their opponents so much, or if it's that charge attack. Ouch, that's sour. They're just taking the better engagements here. And there's Woot Steel about to complete, which means they're going to attack mercilessly. And bye-bye, sergeants. I'm going to click the sergeant's HP. Watch how quickly it drops. 500, 400, 300. I mean, this is just crazy. Oh, actually, they've taken the better fight here. Isn't it funny how the Urumi swordsmen get Woot Steel and then take the shittier engagement? Although, to be fair, only 2 sergeants survived that. So not too sure that was a quote-unquote shitty engagement. Not too sure what the hell these guys are doing here out in the middle of nowhere. More sergeants, more Urumis, going up to 47 Urumis, 40 elite sergeants. Looks like the gap has been plugged up, but more action to the north, more action to the south. For an infantry versus infantry game, this is definitely one that has a lot of good multi-pronged attacks so far. And again, I'm patting myself on the back for calling it. The games between Heartt and MbL, ever since they were in the same clan or group or team or whatever you want to call it, ever since they were together, have just been fantastic. Like I said, my favorite dynamic duo, my favorite power couple of Age of Empires 2. Although, is it really a couple if they fight to kill each other? Man, well, that's actually the very definition of a married couple. Not that I'm calling them a married couple. That was another slaughter of sergeants here, by the way. How many kills on the Urumis? Only 14. I thought it would have been higher. Castle down. I am desperately trying to catch all the action, but these infantry units, despite being bipedal, are making it very difficult for me to see where the action really is. 44 minutes into the game, it looks like things have stalled out. What? What is that? Elephant push? Remember, elephants are cavalry. Cavalry does benefit from loot steel. So you got elephants that can potentially do a lot of damage, but they are expensive. Castle carumbles, camels, zebras, ostriches in the back, probably very happy that that eyesore is gone. Eyesore in their eyes, of course. Very pretty castle, actually. I like the round buttresses and turrets and stuff. I never even noticed that there's a dome here to the left. Anyway, enough nonsense. We've got ourselves a big old battle. Oh my god, the Urumis! Is there a single dead Urumi on the battlefield except this one to the north? Are you effing S-ing me? What was that? They ate up that sergeant army like rust eating metal. Holy moly, like termites through a plank of wood. What the actual hell? This is what I was talking about earlier. It seems like the Urumis were taking the better engagements, and now with Woot Steel? I don't know. Okay, it is not for elephants. It is in fact for light cavalry. Now, why am I so shocked and surprised? No bloodlines, no husbandry, and no final armor upgrade makes these units a little bit less powerful than they really okay, mining stone behind a stone wall. Here we go, engagement yet again. The sergeants need to get their numbers up. They're outnumbered by a unit that... Pardon me, I had to mute the microphone to cough. They are outnumbered by a unit that is stronger than them. These are two things you do not want to have to see or have to deal with. That is a sentence you do not want to utter in the military. Being outnumbered by a stronger unit. But it looks like those light cavalry are raiding to the back for now. MbL's got 24 villager kills. Sergeants are moving forward. Look at the numbers, 37, but there's 48 Urumis. I know there's raiding to the back. I'm going to try to catch that in picture, but I just do not want to miss. I've missed so much action this game on the main screen. I do not want to miss whenever it happens. These two, they're itching for it. They're begging for it. And finally, we close. Look at this massive brawl. Some units have the high ground. Some units are going after the trebs. Sergeants are melting. Okay, they did a little bit of a better job than I thought they would, but mamma mia, that was a disgusting slaughter by our Dravidian and a complete rout of the Sicilian army. Structures down, trebs down, sergeants dead. 50 minutes into the game. What the hell is our Sicilian going to do now? He's adding light cavalry of his own, and he's adding cavaliers. Okay, if you're going to add cavaliers, you're going to have to get Hauberk. And that is not a cheap upgrade. You need that +1 armor, +2 armor, at the very least, against this elephant. I don't think this is a cavalry unit. Oh my god, it is a cavalry unit. Does this technically count as cavalry? In which case, forget Hauberk. It won't mean a damn thing. This unit ignores armor. This unit ignores armor. I was trying to make a joke about the fighting the elephant with Hauberk. But at the end of the day, does this technically count as a cavalry unit? Well, there you go. So even that siege elephant, the armored elephant, will cut through. Oh, MbL, why are you getting Hauberk? I was joking. It was said in jest. Every single unit on this field of battle ignores armor. Why are you wasting 600 gold on boosting your armor? Is there something I'm missing? Somebody in the comments let me know. Is there something I'm missing about this? I don't think that Hauberk really should have been gotten here. I guess if he raids on the other side of the map with his cavaliers, it's going to be okay, but Hauberk definitely does not apply to light cavalry, I don't think. Yikes. Yikes. More infrastructure for our Dravidian barracks, finally. For our infantry civ, who does get one more villager. Will he get... Oh, he's going to get the sergeant too with the high ground here. Oh, that is so sour. Now you have to send another unit to deal with him. Or at the very least, use some villagers, man. Hauberk cavaliers move forward, realize, hey, wait a second, all that extra armor we're wearing means jack shit, because all of these units ignore armor, and MbL's army is 63 in size. That scout is still attacking those villagers. But Heartt doing a good job pulling half of MbL's army out of position here. Maybe now his cavaliers can deal some damage. Where the hell are the scorpions from either player? Seriously, your opponent has a primarily infantry army, and I don't see a single scorpion. And there's your Hauberk. There's your Hauberk. All the cavaliers are dead. The sky is gray. The castle falls. And with it, probably all of this infrastructure is now in jeopardy. More and more units, and that's all she wrote. Holy moly. What a game. Am I missing something about Hauberk? That Heartt got it at the end? This unit is a cavalry, ignores armor. This unit's an infantry, ignores armor. I think I saw some halberdiers moving forward also. They ignore armor too. Why did he get Hauberk? Why are you getting something your opponent doesn't care about? Maybe he didn't know that MbL had Wood Steel. Who knows? That's 600 gold that could have gone into other units. And well, here's the bigger question. Why the hell did neither player train scorpions? I don't understand it. I don't care, because this game was so much fun. Look at the kill count. Our Dravidian, 100 kills more, 50 more villager kills. Wow. Well, like I said, anytime these two meet on the field of battle, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a banger. And that's exactly what we got. 166 Urumis, 226 sergeants. Again, is it because the Urumi is the better unit? Is it the charge attack? Or is it the fact that most of the times MbL took engagements here to the south, here to the center, here to the north, that he outnumbered his opponent? Because I feel like the Urumis did a lot more damage to the sergeants than the sergeants did. I mean, this last battle here in the center was just an absolute rout. That was just disgusting. But by then they had Wood Steel. Even before Wood Steel, they were crushing sergeants like cans of Coca-Cola, like empty cans of Coke beneath their feet. They were trampling them. And triple threat unit right now. Charge attack, trample damage, and Wood Steel ignoring armor. So what the hell do you do against this unit? Definitely needed to add some siege, I think. Both players would have done well. 24 cavaliers at the end there. I love that he went so full on the Urumis that his third most trained unit is from, what, 40 minutes ago? The skirmisher, peak APM at the end of the game, peak APM at the beginning of the game for Heartt. Economies, can't see them being too dissimilar, right? Yeah, if you remove the relic gold of all 5 relics for a Sicilian, pretty much identical economies. Getting the scarce resources is our Sicilian. Getting our trash resources is our Dravidian. 4 conversions to 3, 19 raisings to 10. But wow, what an absolute delightful game. Both players trying to poke and prod in multiple directions. First, it was our Sicilian with the donjon push to the center, then the south. First of all, it was the army push that came in here and then inexplicably popped out. He had occupation of this hill, which put these berries in jeopardy. I don't know why he was so quick to leave and pivot to the south and then try to attack through here. But the donjons came up, the donjons went down to the castles, and then it was Red's turn to start shoving in that infamous Dravidian cavalry that is missing look at this unit. This unit, by the way, look at the stats. This is fully upgraded. This is fully upgraded. Look how pathetic it is. But the one thing it does have going for it is that if it attacks on an 11 and it attacks your unit, it will do exactly 11 damage because it ignores armor, as does apparently this elephant. So actually an 8 attack is not that much worse than a light cavalry's 11. So I learned something today, that this has cavalry armor. There you go. In any event, what a fun game. Anytime these two meet, I said in the beginning, I said in the middle, and I'll say it at the end, my favorite two players to meet on the ranked ladder over and over again, because you're almost always guaranteed to have some kind of fun, some kind of shenanigans. Now, it looks like the villagers finally got together. Yeah, there's that one kill. So they got that scout at the end, that light cavalry unit. But at the end of the day, the Urumi swarm, the securing of his base, look at this base, it's beautiful. To be fair, so is the Sicilian base. Very lush, very fertile base. 800 food left on this farm. Lots and lots of farms everywhere for both players. So good infantry battles. Infantry, remember, don't really cost that much gold, which is why we got to see such big numbers. Usually if this was a cavalry heavy game, it wouldn't be 380 kills to 280. It would probably be like 180 to 120 or something like that, just because of the extra cost. But because infantry isn't super duper expensive, sergeants on the whole are 35 gold. The Urumi swordsmen are 20 gold. They both cost around 60, 65 food. So not the end of the world when it comes to gold and food cost. You do see bigger battles, and man, what an exciting last big battle that we got to see. But holy moly, did Heart get a lesson in Woot's steel. And again, if I'm missing something about Hauberk, let me know. I have no clue why he got Hauberk. I was just teasing him, thinking that I could make a joke about the elephant, but the joke was on me. The GG from Heart sends MbL into the W, into the winner's circle, but really, truly, GG in a very fun infantry game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.